So we're going to talk about 5 coins that have yet to have a parabolic growth. Let's see where these can go. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a like and a comment, it really helps. If you want me to cover a coin, leave a comment in this video, there may be some tomorrow. Now, I've picked out 5 coins, and the reason why I want to pick out 5 coins, and also for a laugh, I've not looked at them beforehand, so they might have old charting on them, there might be a mess. I want to keep it totally impartial. These are 5 coins that I've looked on the top 100 and they haven't really grown yet. This may well be trading opportunities, it may well be investment positional holds if you feel that they could do, for example, what's on the screen, Solana. It's done really well. Huge growth. Now, if you've watched some of my videos, I was chatting to say that potential, that $20 level was a big area to look at. If it lost that, it could go even lower, but it has had an immensely important, hugely bullish reversal. It looks amazing, so that's pretty good. By the way though, this is all not financial advice. It could be absolute nonsense at the same time. If you're looking at the averages of where they actually are versus where they have been, in my opinion, there seems to be a lot of room to grow. So we're going to look into the first one. And the first one is, it's not even on my list actually, to be fair. It is crypto.com, CRO, okay? Why? Because, well, I feel it's undervalued in my personal opinion. Now, I don't know which one to look at. We'll look at, yeah, OKX will do. So, we've had a huge retracement from roughly around 28 cents, sorry, or 27 cents even, dear me. We're currently at 15. We've pulled back quite a decent chunk. And most people know this, but I was quite an advocate of this until they kind of had a bit of PR disaster. Looking at the weekly, we are now above the moving average 21, which is hugely important for trend directional bias. And this could be a next big move. Now, if you're living under a rock, you probably would have easily heard of these. If you watch F1, main title sponsor of Formula 1 nowadays, that's huge. They are, in my opinion, the kings of marketing. The naming, the branding, how it kind of is in that public space, it is very obvious, even in UFC, right? So this is why I'm thinking, well, maybe there might be something on the cards here. Now, if we're going to look long term here, we've had a nice retracement. We've had a huge retracement, probably down to the 786 levels, right? Could we go to all-time high at 27.2 cents? Probably yes, because token flow, the burning mechanisms that they now have on is huge, but also market sentiment. Everyone and the cat and the dog and the budgie, whatever, will want to buy using this platform, especially now when you look at Binance with the FCA and you can't put your fiat in that. There's huge obstacles now, especially for people in the UK. Crypto.com is predominantly used throughout Europe, mainly. UK is pretty much key at that. So it's hugely important to get, your foothold in the game in the easiest possible way, and Crypto.com could be providing that, okay? Now, are we going to shoot to the moon? I don't know. The one thing I need to look at is obviously the reverse side of this. Where is the resistance? Where are things kind of lying? Now, we're currently at resistance right now. If I remove the original fib, we have got to break through basically this level, where we are right now. This is hugely important. I believe break through this, and it is a retest of this as a support level, we may well shoot for the moon. That's my personal opinion, by the way. But looking at it, we have got an obvious higher low. Oops. If TradingView wants to work. So obviously you can see this. It's important to see where it goes. But for me, break out from this zone, we may well see a much higher level. 20 cents potentially, 27 cents all-time high, even higher. It could go on an absolute parabolic run. So it's certainly one to keep an eye on. If we are looking beyond all-time high, we've got to look at obviously these levels here, 32 cents potentially, as a potential extension level, which could be a profit taking level. If it gets that high, obviously, it's a long way away. However, it hasn't really moved much in my opinion. Yes, it's had a bottom tap. It's moved up 80 or 90 odd %, give or take. Not massively compared to some of the other coins out there, which is important. So again, for me, all-time high levels, obviously that wick is down 43% of current live prices. Hugely important. But for me, there's a few levels to crack. And again, a little bit higher here. We probably look at this level too. But realistically though, fingers crossed, if you are looking at the market sentiment and it keeps going bullish and it keeps going, Crypto.com could be the one that could go absolutely turbo because hordes of people will want to be a part of it. That's coin number 1. Anyways, coin number 2, is it on my list? I don't know. No. So you're getting an absolute real treat here, boys and girls. Hedra, Hashgraph, hello. It's had a huge run, but it hasn't quite recovered yet, has it, boys and girls? No, it hasn't. You're probably thinking, well, maybe it will, or maybe it won't. Now, if you don't know much about it, do your research. It's a DAG, it's a little bit different to a blockchain. Hit a level of resistance, it's going to cool off a little bit on the weekly time frame. However, break through that, you could get a nice little run to 30 odd cents, give or take. Could be a nice little swing there. Lot of confliction kind of candles here on this weekly. Go down to the daily, you'll probably see a bit more very, very rangy, jaggedy, very, very toppy, pulled all the way back, and now it's on its trajectory back up again. So keep an eye on it. Has just crossed over the EMA on the weekly. It's pulled back on that level of resistance, which is kind of an important level. But realistically though, you got to think of the long-term kind of element to this. Network effect is hugely important for partnerships and stuff like this with projects like this. Roughly, well, just below the 618, zip back up way above it. We could be seeing some really nice levels here overall, but it's entirely up to you how you want to kind of process this as a long-term project. In my opinion, it's not the sort of thing I'd invest in, but a lot of people do rate it, and a lot of people have actually called me to do some analysis on it, so it's a good time to do it. But realistically, when you're thinking about it, that network effect, that element of partnerships and how it will kind of be used in a different way to an obvious blockchain, because it is a DAG, it's a bit different. It'll be interesting to see how it kind of does its thing, because not everything in this space is blockchain based. You've got to remember that, and that's hugely important. But we may well be seeing a new all-time high if the partnerships keep going. They've got some really strong, very, very strong partnerships overall in what they're doing in the world of business. So have a little look. Overall though, if we're looking at the technicals, the obvious is kind of here. These two levels, you can see it, meat on the bones. They've got a lot of levels of resistance around this point as well. So if we're looking at a breakout at 25 cents, we may well be looking at 33 cents, but 33 cents could be absolutely massive. A break of that obviously into all-time high blue sky breakouts potentially could be massive, especially if it makes a candle closure basically above 36 cents. So it's certainly worth keeping an eye on, but at the same time, it is starting to look bullish. So it's a bullish candle overall for the last 2 weeks. Relatively neutral right now. It will obviously pull back, but again, it's similar to sort of crypto.com here. You know, big massive pullback, and it's down 44% still. It hasn't had that huge toppy move just yet. The next one, I believe this is on my list. Is it? No. Dear me. Sorry, boys and girls. I'm disappointing everyone. Algorand. Not looked at this for a long, long time. And again, similar sort of pattern. Ignore the wow. Ignore that bit. But when we're looking at this overall, again, similar sort of ilk. It's had a nice little retracement, and we're currently down again, roughly 46% of current levels. Hugely important to understand that a lot of this market will go at its own time, and you can see here a perfect 1, 2, 3 tap of that bottom level. Hugely important, but we're getting towards resistance levels, and this is actually in real nice confluence with the chart structure here. So maybe $1.11 might be the key level for it to break. If it breaks above that and above that EMA, it could be very, very interesting. This needs a bit of oomph, but again, you can see the higher low there, very, very obvious. It could be a massive swing to the upside, where we could be looking at going boom right the way up there, if it wants to, obviously. Again, not financial advice, don't get too excited, come on. Huh? I don't know much about this coin. I'll be first to say that. I don't know what fundamentals are coming, but if it is, you know, if it does, and it has, and it will have that momentum overall, if the altcoin market is good and bullish, expected to do, you know, what everything else does, especially if Bitcoin goes up. This is USD. I'm not looking at BTC pairs, I'm looking at USD here. At the end of the day, it could be very, very interesting to see where it goes. But if we're looking at those levels, that's the most obvious. Again, a similar sort of level up here, not as clear cut on structure, but this is a lot more on structure, which is very, very important. If we are looking long term, it may well go beyond $2, which would be pretty awesome if it is, if you are a holder. But at the same time, look at this. We've got high, 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 pretty much high, give or take, if you're looking at that situation. Looking at the daily time frame, you can see overall it's done pretty well, but it's starting to break out now from this level. So it's break a structure. Zooming in on this, by the way, just to give you an input. A level of this, like 91 cents, is a hugely important level because it has broken through structure, so it may well be going on its own little steam soon. So yeah, it's definitely a one to keep an eye on. So another one that could be looking at a nice aggressive pump at some point in the not too distant future. Next one is a privacy coin, because I've not looked at a privacy coin for a long, long time. Monero. Now, all charting, hello. It shows you how long ago this was. We're at resistance levels. I've got old lines here from the past. We'll clear it all off. We'll make it all nice and neat. There's nothing on there now. This had one of the biggest drops. Look at the aggressive pull. Look at the aggressive push, more to the point. Basically up the stairs, out the window. That is literally how it felt. It literally felt like a divorce going wrong. You know, when you look at this, it's been an absolutely aggressive that is hugely mental. Right at level of resistance here. Now, I think I mentioned this a long time ago because it had such a big drop. And we're now at a huge level of resistance. Now, worst case scenario, regulations, take a massive dump on privacy coins and stuff like that. It may well factor the price in. That could be an important level to look at. But at the same time, when you look at this weekly time frame, it's been slaughtered. And this has probably got the best risk reward overall. If you're looking at getting the best possible kind of element to it, it's about 47% right now. Huge dump. Again, man, if you were looking at these levels, it would have been ridiculous. But you probably weren't, to be fair. You probably weren't expecting that within 2 candles. It's huge. And this is what I always say with crypto. Sometimes you just cannot, you cannot figure it out. You can't work out what's going to happen because it's crazy. Now, again, we don't have much data on these weeks because they've not been here much, but there is a lot of confluence in and around where we are right now. And most importantly also, the little level up here, the 618 level, in terms of support levels, it will now obviously be a resistance level. So it's definitely important to look at. Now for me, would I invest in this? Probably not, no, because I'm not really into privacy coins. But if you're looking to trade this could be a very, very good one because again, above the moving average, once it breaks above this level, you may well see a nice little shoot up because this level here, around here, huge runs, huge runs. There may not be many orders there. It might have a big, massive little pump. And if that does have a little pump and it is like a 15-20% level kind of push here, well, 28% potentially to that level, it could be a good trading opportunity. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. And the last one, a new portfolio added element to me is Cake. Hello. Don't have much data here. We'll go down to the 2-day chart. There we go. Old chart and analysis. That looks horrendous. What have we got here? Oh God. I won't even look at that. That looks ugly. Anyways, I have invested in Cake because I'm now in some syrup pools, which is pretty nice. Nice little passive income. But this has had a huge strong run to the upside. You can see here, if I just put that level there, where we've had resistance, support, resistance all the way through, broken out that key level of $20, that big round number. Absolutely monstrous run here. And this is the 2-day chart. Look in the daily, it looks even better. Oof, bang. Way off we go, son. Now, again, I want to try and get, there we go, 3-day. Strong. Freaking very strong. Look how many, well, in my case, white candles on the 3-day chart. Hugely strong. Now, I put a little bit of money in the syrup pools, just on the automated compounding one, which is roughly around 93% interest at the moment. Pretty nice, pretty neat. I quite enjoy it. And I've not put loads of money in there. I'm just testing it out. I might add more to it. But at the same time, this, I believe, got probably I'll say Monero's got good risk reward. This has also got really good risk reward because it's roughly the same, 47%. Huge downside turn, but it's got that momentum. But when you think how low this went, now the reason why, you're probably wondering, DeFi. When the market poos itself, a lot of people are trapped in DeFi protocols. They are trying to make passive income, but it's also the easiest way to grow it. If you've got a lump of cake and you're not ate it, you want to try and accumulate as much as you can because that pull of having that passive income is huge. It's massive, it's monstrous. When you think about how much you can make there. If you had an opportunity to sell and then all of a sudden you can buy back low, the passive income on that is going to be absolutely massive, especially when you go on Pancake Swap and you're looking on the calculator, it's massive. So it's definitely worth checking out. Now for me, I'd just be careful because it's had a huge run. Expect to pull back towards that red zone, in my opinion, around $20, give or take around $20. However, I said that the other day with Bitcoin, didn't happen, so just be careful. This market is strong. It's sentiment based, as I always say. There's a lot of things popping up. Right now, I'm looking at my right hand side. Avalanche is going absolutely turbo at the moment. And Cake, I think, could be a one that could do that. It already has. When you think about it in kind of reflection here, since 18th of July, it's already done 117%. Huge run, but it's still got a long way to go when you think about long-term kind of element to this in terms of like DeFi protocols. Still could go even higher. When the market is strong and bullish, people want to lock up their money. Cake, Sushi, Compound, Aave, even Federal Reserve, all these places that can offer these services, they will do well. And this is the beautiful side of it. Passive income is key, especially if your portfolio is hurting. If you can quickly jump out of this, for example, in a downward turn or a downtrend, and you're looking to reaccumulate, you could have absolutely huge, monstrous returns longer term, and it could get very, very interesting. But at the same time, though, we've got to look at where this can go. I've got a feeling it is. It just went through resistance. We'll see if it continues going up. But I would expect it to kind of falter a little bit, not so much at the 618, but I'm more looking at this level here. I'm more looking at where this body structure is here, where it stopped a little bit in the past and we've held a little bit. So that could be an interesting level, $27. But yeah, for me, overall, looking at this as passive income, as a long-term investment, Cake could be a very, very good one, and it is in my portfolio right now. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Hope you like the microphone. It should be better. This room's getting totally changed. I still have carpet, but it's very... I lifted it, right? Because I'm painting. Little story for you. The underlay's foam. It's very, very light. I can't believe how light it is. Didn't even realise. So yeah, this desk, it's mental. New desk is coming soon. Foam the wall up so it's better soundproofing. There'll be a lot more furnishings behind me as well, so it's a much more better office space. Lighting will be in front of the desk as well. Much more coverage. I'm pretty excited for the future in terms of this studio. Anyways, if you like this video, slap it a like. You know what to do. Subscribe.